Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 127 of Pokerole. A number I have to constantly check at this point because once we hit 3 digits, my ability to remember, out the window. We are here with the usual group, minus Tubby, because he's running late, I think, today. Hopefully he shows up in time for things to happen and involve him. We will see. But we're going to go ahead and get started, because it's been a bit. So, before I begin, of course, if you like the video, do think about giving it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that as well. But if you really want to help out, come over to Twitch. We're trying to reach a partner, but we need more viewers to do it. So if you want to come by, whether to lurk or to talk, think about doing so, because it makes a huge difference, and we'd honestly love to have you. We also have a pretty cool coffee link if you want to help directly monetize my content. That's pretty cool. I also have a merch store if you want to buy some cool merch. And also, I just realized I did not update the wiki link. I knew I forgot to do something in the last week. It's fine. You can see the new Pokemon wiki link we have on the side there, pokepioneers.mirahese.org. It's on the side HUD. It also will be in the video description. And yes, go check that stuff out if you're interested. But that being said, how is everybody on the table today?
Hey. Doing all right.
I'm well.
I am also fine, since the storm of today has passed, like physical, literal storm, so I am good now. And let's see. Yeah.
So put everything not game related away.
I'll let you do a recap, and I'll share 2 pieces of art, because there are 2 pieces of art.
Last time was session 126. Gentle Interrogation. Pangoro brings Brooke to a storage room where the Lurantis was being held. Pangoro proceeds to ask their reason for being there, making clear that he is aware that the Lurantis is able to speak. The Lurantis finally begins to talk, explaining that they had been in search of a thief and had been sneakily taking crops from Savan out of starvation-induced desperation. Brooke asks what exactly they meant by a thief, to which they explained that the thief had taken the nectar that they grew in their garden for sustenance, and was pursuing them to get their food back. They are thankful to the pioneers for the considerate treatment they were receiving, having expected far worse for stealing food. Brooke asked for more details on the thief, and learned that the thief strongly resembled a flower, which causes a few individuals to come to Brooke's mind, particularly one who was currently missing. The Lurantis continues, guessing that the thief would likely have gone into hiding in the Lurantis' nest. Brooke is doubtful that Lilligant could possibly be the thief, but Pangoro encourages him not to completely ignore the possibility. The two then request the Lurantis to guide them to their nest to determine the truth of the matter for themselves, and the Lurantis agrees to it. Pangoro then hands the responsibility to Brooke and the rest of Team Cheer while he continues to deal with Chatot, and Brooke happily agrees to the task. Brooke exits the clubhouse and makes his way back to the team base. Along the way, he makes sure to look for a bee drill for advice on any nectar that could be useful for Lurantis. He first checks if a bee drill from Vespa Queen's hive might have come to deliver honey, and while the delivery had been made, any bee drill that would have delivered it had already left Savantown. As such, they then decide to check with the bee drill who runs the general store, but make sure to take their own weapon materials to Blaze to help with forging the weapon during his spare time. Rida, after testing their concoction, chooses to bottle up as much of the concoction as possible for further experimentation at a later time. With nothing else to do at the time, they spend some time trying to learn more of Lyra's language. Ralph decides to first show V to the Cocagrigus, and quickly six the gold maniac upon the EV by claiming they have plenty of gold for the Cocagrigus to trade with. The Cofagrigus proceeds to invite V to trade with him by pulling him away, and Ralph walks back to the base to store his items, proud of the choices that he has made. Then, he heads towards Mawil's abode, happily greeting her and presenting her with a King's Rock as a gift. He then tells Mawil that Team Cheer is currently escorting V, and informs her of what he had just done to leave V distracted for a while. Mawil is amused by this, and lets Ralph into her home, reminding him about how the full moon will be soon, and how Team Cheer had promised to join her on the expedition. Ralph assures her that Team Cheer will be there in time for the expedition, and he will happily ditch V if it takes too long to finish the request. As the discussion continues, he then suggests that Mawil could join them on their journey too, and then proceed to the muted glade after finishing helping V to save the word salad. Sorry, I'm trying to cold read faster than my eyes, and it's not working. After finishing helping V to save the return trip. Mawil agrees to this idea, concluding that it probably would be the most time-efficient choice. The two have a bit more conversation, while making sure to warn Ralph not to annoy the Chatot currently auditing the guild, and Ralph leaving her exasperated with the tale of how Team Cheer dissolved a mafia during their trip to Sea Spray. Ralph then leaves the building to let Brooke know about how Mawil will be joining them during the trip with V. As Ralph makes their way to the base, they spot Chatot heading in the direction of Rise's house, and decides to try and distract them. In an attempt to improve the Chatot's opinion of the Pioneers, he regales them with the various accomplishments that Team Cheer has done, from stopping a bombing and mafia group to opening trade routes in the north of the Plains continent. As Ralph continues to ramble on, Chatot proceeds to jot down more and more notes in a notebook regarding Ralph's disposition and any issues that Ralph's explanation raises that Pangoro had failed to mention to him. Meanwhile, Tucker decides to take Puppy with him to sell some excess items they'd gotten during the trip to Sea Spray to get some money. While at the marketplace, they recognize V being in the clutches of Cofagrigus, but leave them be for the moment. While selling items, Tucker trades the life orb he had for a peculiar stone with a spiral fern pattern on it, along with some extra poke. The Kecleon selling the stone describes it as an aberrant evolutionary stone, which is the result of stones being fused together by the powers within a mystery dungeon. The one Tucker trades for is a combination of a leaf stone and a moonstone. As Tucker leaves the marketplace, he sees Ralph speaking with someone near Rise's abode, and goes over to ask what was going on. He pleasantly greets Chatot while telling him that he and Ralph are both members of Team Cheer. Chatot continues to jot down notes as Tucker and Ralph further talk about Team Cheer and their adventures. During the discussion, Chatot asks about Puppy, assuming him to be Tucker's younger sibling. While Tucker attempts to be honest and explain that they found Puppy's egg in a strange box, Ralph makes the choice to hide that knowledge and instead claim that Tucker was just joking and that Puppy was indeed his sibling. Assuming Ralph has a good reason to say that, Tucker decides to go along with it, and Chatot soon decides to leave the two to their own devices and continue on their way to Rise's house. Once Chatot is out of earshot, Ralph explains to Tucker that he noticed how Chatot doesn't seem particularly fond of the civilization of Savantown, particularly with the civilizations outside Savantown, particularly with the ones run mostly by wild Pokemon. As such, he assumed it would be best to hide the fact that Tucker had adopted Puppy and instead pretend that they are siblings, as Chatot might make a decision to have Puppy taken away if they learned Team Cheer had adopted a wild with little knowledge of their origins. As they make their way back to the base together, Tucker decides to show their new stone to Ralph, which piques his curiosity due to never having heard of an aberrant stone before. Ralph tries to ponder potential uses for a combination of a moonstone and a leaf stone, but nothing in particular comes to mind. Everyone eventually regroups at the base and debriefs each of their newfound pieces of knowledge. After doing so, Rita approaches Tucker and asks if they could speak in private. Tucker ushers Puppy to play in the base, while they go with Rita to one of the empty rooms. Rita then explains to Tucker that, as Brooke had instructed Rita to be more open and honest with the team, Rita felt that it made sense to let Tucker know that they were responsible for the death of the Clodfather. And they had chosen to hide that fact because they knew Tucker would have intervened if he knew. Tucker becomes visibly upset at that and nods, saying that he definitely would have done so, and then quickly exited the room to go to his quarters and avoid escalating the topic further. And that is where we left off.
Poor Sleepy Car.
Look, I don't know what it is about reading a recap. It doesn't matter if it's this recap or if it's the recap that I myself have written. Something about reading it at like this hour, even earlier, I start to yawn, and I think it's because I am talking so much.
It's okay. I'm not. That wasn't me criticizing you, by the way. I probably would also yawn. I feel like we're all kind of a little off kilter of the lack of a Tubby. He brings a lot of life to things.
Oh, if you don't hear me yawn during the recaps, I'm still yawning. I'm just not having my push to talk on.
It's so much. It's a front loaded lot of dialogue, so I kind of get it, especially when you're trying to wind up too. So makes a lot of sense. I do hope everyone is
doing it early in the morning.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Wait, is that something you have to do? Orientation?
Yeah, my sessions are 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
and I do the recap every time.
Oh, wow.
From memory.
That's
like I used to do.
Well, let's see here then. Good news, I think. I have updated the link for next time, during the recap.
Oh, good.
Okay, there we go. In fact, let me go ahead and test it. Nope, still shows the old one. Probably needs to be refreshed. Yay! There we go. Excellent. But, let's see then. So, yes. So Tucker ran off to his room with Puppy. Just, Tucker is not feeling too hot about Ryda just dumping out that, hey, I just went and killed somebody before, like, intentionally. So, yeah, doesn't work really well with Tucker. Go figure. Let's see then. Where should we start?
Well, everyone is at the base. This is kind of a moment where y'all can openly roleplay. As a reminder for the two party members present that had weapons in mind in Blaze's work, Blaze has been unable to work on them due to the audit.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
That makes sense.
It's just a reminder thing.
Like I said, Tucker has holed himself up in his own personal quarters, so if there's any interactions happening right now, it'd probably be between Brooke and Ryda, or other people at the base of them.
It's true. Squirtle is currently at the front desk, as always. I say with air quotes around the always.
Oh, good. We have our receptionist still.
Yes. Hot Dog does not appear to be present at this minute, but I'm sure it's fine, and Lizard and Riley are back in Sea Spray, so they're not here to carry a conversation.
Right, okay. I guess Brooke will read Squirt and sign at him. Asking how things have been while he was gone.
Squirtle will ponder this, And then they will start to sign to Brooke that things have been okay. Aside from Noibat being missing.
Right. Rook will nod. He'll actually ask when the last time he saw Noibat was.
Making a squinty face as they think really hard. They then motion for Brooke to follow them as they leave Team Cheer HQ.
Okay.
Interesting.
Brooke will follow.
Yep. They just sort of hop down from the stool behind the desk and totter their way out of the HQ. And they take Brooke to the front gate. You know, the one that Team Cheer originally entered from.
Mm-hmm.
And they begin to sign to Brooke that they saw Noibat. They pause, count on their fingers. 3 days ago? They sort of have their head tilted and sign in a way that makes it seem like they're not entirely sure how many days it was.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving out the front gate, it looked like they were following someone. Squirtle is not allowed to leave the town. They are still too young.
Right.
So they didn't. They sort of give side-eye to the Kangaskhan gate guard, who gives side-eye back.
Brooke will kind of look out in the direction that Squirtle indicated. Do I know if anything is in that area?
Well, it's out towards the... oh goodness, the... What was it, the Big Plains?
Yeah, it's our first dungeon.
Where we started.
Well, the first
One we
traversal
woke up.
area.
Yeah.
Well, the only things out in the Baked Plains that you know of, that you can even vaguely remember, are Cladal's Cairn and that one weird, like, crevasse place where you escorted Lilligant before.
B.
Is it Tubby?
Oh? The legendary Pokemon has appeared? I didn't think I would catch it. Low catch rate. It's like it's fighting you is like fighting a Raikou. Hey there,
I
bud.
was out like a smashed bulb.
All right, there you go.
Well, this-
Everybody who bet sleeping. I guess you're right. Hello, buddy. Did you get a
Are
good
you
nap?
okay?
And pay up the winners.
I told everybody, no, he's not sleeping. He doesn't just sleep. Though you have taken midday apps before, so maybe I should have thought about that.
Yeah.
Are you feeling any better, or did you just sleep
Yeah,
past
yeah.
an alarm, or you feeling sick, or?
No, I'm good now. I guess sometimes I do get a nap in before the game.
That's fair.
Especially
I mean, that's a
like,
good idea.
Midweek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We haven't done much yet. We just started.
Yes.
Excellent. I hope most of that wasn't waiting for me.
It may have been. It's okay
20
though.
minutes.
A little bit
we
of
didn't
waiting.
We didn't wait that long.
We started about 7:05, then waited like 20 minutes. So
Yeah. It's not like we waited for hours. It's fine.
Tubby, I may as well ask before I forget. If I were to call you, if I had your phone number, would that wake you up in these situations?
Probably, yeah.
Then let's talk later about phone number exchanging. That might be a good idea, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Did you want me to recap anything, or do you remember last session?
That's directed at you, Tubby.
Oh yeah. If we miss anything, just like the fast version.
Okay. I can tell you're still waking up. It's why I asked.
A little bit. It's all good.
Right. So the fast version is Ralph gave V to Cophagrigus because screw babysitting V, I guess. Visited with Mawile and agreed that Mawile could come along with the V quest thing because that's super efficient. And that way, Team Cheer can go to Mawile's thing immediately after, and you might actually get to the place early and set up camp. And then Ralph met the Chatot and tried to distract it, and Tucker ended up joining in, and it was probably more like the Chatot interrogated you guys without you even noticing. For the most part.
I pulled my old trick against me.
They did.
See, the difference is this time they were the one with the power to back it up.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. There was even fan art of a very particular set of lines that has been placed upon the table.
Indeed, it's up there.
Gosh.
I appreciate the bags under Shatshot's eyes for that drawing. Seems appropriate.
Perma bags.
Perma bags.
They are one of those characters that has the permanently tired look, but they don't make it look good. Because there are characters that have that and they look amazing. Like natural makeup. Chatot does not have that kind of complexion. In any case, Brooke spoke with Pangoro and the Lurantis. The Lurantis has agreed to guide the team to their lair to catch the quote-unquote real thief, the one that stole their nectar and drove them to come and, out of starvation, start consuming crops from Savan. And let's see. Oh, right. The important thing we ended on. Rita, who had been at the base all this entire time, who hasn't interacted with Chatot at all. I don't even know how poorly that might go. When everyone returned to the base, Rita pulled aside Tucker to tell them that they straight up did a murder on the Clodfather. Tucker did not take that particularly well, but took it better than one might have expected, and then went to their room to avoid escalating the situation.
The only reason he took it better than expected is because he's had the experience of being bloody angry at a teammate before and reacted very poorly last time and doesn't want to do that again.
Yes, and currently, Brooke asked Squirtle how things were going at the base. They've been going okay, except for Noibat being missing. And they say Noibat a few days ago at the front gate, apparently following someone. But of course, they did not leave the town because they're not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
But out in that direction is the Baked Plains, and the only places that the team currently knows of in the Baked Plains are Claydol Cairn, the first big dungeon, and the Sunlight Crevasse place where you all helped Lilligant a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, we're all cut.
The Squirtle scene is the only scene that happened before you arrived today, just to clarify that. Go ahead.
Okay. So Brooke is going to ask Squirtle if he got a good look at who Noibat was following.
Squirtle shakes their head. And they sign back very poignantly, "I am too short. The grass is tall."
Brooke laughs and pats him on the head.
Squirtle makes a face.
And he'll say out loud, "Oh, you'll get taller."
Signs back at Brooke. All the adults say that.
Brooke is going to address the guard now and ask if they've seen any sign of Noibat. Or any of the details from 3 days ago.
They shake their head.
Couldn't tell you. Unfortunately, Noibat's a little small. You'd think with all the squeaking it'd be easy to tell when they're leaving and going. But not this time. But I also wasn't on duty then. Come to think of it, who was on duty?
Brooke will raise a brow. Well, is there a list somewhere?
I think Pangoro would have it.
Brooke nods. Makes sense. I'll look into it. And he'll head back to the club with Squirrel.
Before you go, we don't exactly keep a record of all the mons that come and go out the gate. We're not exactly a checkpoint.
Just gestures to Savantown in general.
Brooke just waves him off. I'm aware. And basically seems determined to figure out what's going on regardless.
The Kangaskhan shrugs. Squirtle will follow Brooke to the Pioneering Club.
I think about Neil Brooklyn's kind of look around and remark, kind of quiet in here, where is everybody?
They're all working. Florence looks incredibly bored, leaning on the bar.
I meant, Team Cheers Club. No, it's not the...
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Everybody's working for the
I thought you meant
weekend.
the Pioneering Club.
No, sorry. I understand why you might.
I apologize. Okay, in which case... Well, I know that all the team members are currently... Like, the main team members, I should say, are currently in the HQ. They're just a little scattered. I don't know where Rida went after talking to Tucker.
Rida is wherever Lyre is.
Oh, in which case Lyre is outside in the garden, so Brooke would have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know where Ralph would be.
Did Ralph make it
I
back?
feel like
think he
Ralph
went
would be
back to
chilling in
Jerome.
his room, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he
In
got
which
back with
case-
Tucker. So.
Yeah, in which case we've got two people in their rooms. Yeah. Two people in their rooms. Two outside. Squirtle signs, just sort of shrugs and signs that, well, they were all here a minute ago.
sleeping as deeply as I was up until about 15 minutes ago.
Brooke rubs his head and I guess since he saw Lyre outside, then he'll just head out there and see what's going on.
Alright. Lyre is just sort of humming along near the lumberry tree and in the garden. They look pretty happy with themselves.
And Raleigh is here too.
Right is also there, just sort of messing with their orb in sort of a training fashion.
Brooke approaches and just says, "Hey guys."
Right, it turns to look at Brooke, immediately stopping what they're doing to greet them properly. Hello. Welcome back.
Brooke's just gonna ask, I suppose he'll start with, "Hey, where is everybody?"
I'm not aware where Ralph is, though I believe Tucker went to his room with Puppy after we had a talk.
And Brooke will kind of look skeptical at that and say, "What kind of talk?"
As we discussed before about honesty, I explained to him what happened last time we were at Sea Spray.
In so many words, I assume.
I was to the point.
Brooke will kind of nod and say, "I see."
Do I get a sense of what that means?
Oh, I can't see what I'm typing as I'm typing it because the bar's in the way.
Oh no. Frida, you actually know some of these words. It's basically Lair going, effectively a combination of "I told you so" and also "you could have handled it better."
Ryder responds to Lyre. I did what was asked. I do not see what fault I had.
In so many words, I half expected, like 37 to be precise.
Oh, that's what you're typing.
Or
37 words.
if you count repeat words, then 112.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to type something.
Okay. But yeah, Liar just rolls their eyes at Ryda.
Yay, Ryder's learning how to understand Lyre. They can have conversations.
And if I recall correctly, Ryder sees nothing wrong. So, like, Tucker leaving in a huff and everything didn't even make Ryder go like, "Oh, that's a little bit odd," or anything like that.
No, they just thought Tucker, after it was done with the conversation, just went to do their own thing. That was it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, well, conversation concluded, everybody's going back to their business, everything is fine, kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Have a good day.
While Brooke types, I'm trying to think, what specifically made Tucker attack Riley? Way back, way many episodes ago.
Oh my goodness, I don't remember.
It was over. It was over the Shadow Scavengers, but I don't remember what caused him to lash out at Riley. It was definitely something involving how Riley handled the situation, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember saying something along the lines of, "It was worse because of you."
Oh, right. Yeah, there was that whole explanation of Riley fought the Shadow Scavenger leader, and that made things worse.
Yeah. And of course, Tucker had been then taken away by the Shadow Scavengers, and there was abuse related to that. And obviously, infernal abuse. And thus, that was lashed out at Riley. Like, Riley caused part of that problem, basically, in Tucker's head, so there was a fight.
Yeah, and then if I recall, he then kind of continued to not really take it seriously. Like he felt bad, but he didn't really take it seriously.
Riley was definitely the sort to do his own thing sometimes. So, yeah, I don't think Riley didn't take the situation seriously, but Tucker needs somebody to lash out at in that situation, and yeah.
Yep, it was session 12 when that fight happened.
Wow, that was a
pretty
while
early.
back. Yeah.
I think 12 or 13?
The reason I asked that is because it's the one other time where Tucker felt that angry at somebody, like as it is probably now. So I had to think about that. Think about the emotions on that. It's been so. No wonder I kind of forgot details. That was 12. My goodness, it was even further back than I thought.
It might not be that far back. I might be looking at the wrong thing.
Still though. Also, I'm sorry to hear that, Beefy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 16.
16.
There's even
Still,
a note here.
Still pre-20. I didn't expect that.
Well, Tucker's grown. He didn't immediately attack Ryda. Progress.
To be fair, this is a different situation. Then it's just that on the subject of Tucker getting really angry at somebody, it's not very common for Tucker to do that. So yeah, it is progress though. You're right.
Episode 20 was being at the ranch.
How many sessions did Sea Spray take?
Too many.
This means you made a very interesting location the players really enjoy.
I agree.
I wish I had that. Instead, my players just frequently revisit places, which I guess is fine too.
Well, we kind of do that too because we have some natural hubs here.
Alright. Brooke will sigh and say, I'll talk to him. I had intended to do so earlier, but that's on me. He says mostly to himself and Meyer than Ryda. Then he'll address Ryda directly. We're going to have to talk about tact later. Tucker's still young, and the nuance of justified murder is probably difficult for him to accept. So I doubt he's taken the news well emotionally.
I see. I was not aware that my approach was less than satisfactory. I will try to improve for the future.
Please do. We'll say, a little exasperated, but understandingly. Then he will look at Lyre and say, I didn't type this part out.
Take your time.
I've actually got a question for you. And he'll address Lyre directly and say, would you mind accompanying me after I talk to Tucker to the orchard?
Right.
Oh, I was talking to you.
It was to Liar.
That was the
Oh.
last one.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hang on. Turn down that music just a smidge more. Because apparently I'm being attention deficit today. Liar just nods. They see no reason why not to.
Brooke will give a short nod and basically say, "All right, you can get back to whatever you were doing," and head back inside.
They will give a nod.
And Brooke will head to Tucker's door. And he will give it a knock and say, "Hey Tucker, you in there?"
Okay, before I start voicing, I'm going to change the music. I don't feel like this song vibes with me for this.
Fair enough.
Let's see. What's a good more sadder tone song? Not ridiculously sad, but like something somber, yeah. Or well, there's a song literally called Melancholy 129 events. Let's see if that works. I suppose so. I don't think I've played this song in a while, or if I have, I'll play it. Let's see. Let me make sure it's okay when it advances. Yeah, it's fine. We'll use that. So 129. Okay. So, Brooke knocked on Tucker's door and asked if he was in there, right?
Yep.
Okay. You will hear, slightly muffled, not just because of the door, you will hear Tucker express, Brooke, yeah, I'm here.
You will ask, "Mind if I come in?"
I guess, yeah, you can.
And Brooke will enter and close the door behind him.
He will see Tucker. If you guys recall, Tucker has quite a few plushies. He's kind of sort of buried in them, to be honest, explaining why he's slightly muffled. Just seeming to just kind of half hiding. And Puppy is probably romping a little more. I wonder, is Puppy tapping into Tucker's mood?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Puppy is very much just sort of hunkered down by the pile of, like, plush and pillow. They're whining a little bit, nosing at it.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke will take a seat next to Tucker and Puppy.
Tucker doesn't seem to be upset by your presence, though it definitely seems like he wanted his own space. Tucker will not do direct eye contact. He looks like he's a mix of angry and sad. Fairly equal mix.
Brooke will take a moment and give Puppy a pat on the head. And say, "What's on your mind?"
You knew for a while, didn't you? About when Ryder did.
Brooke will nod. Yeah, I was practically there when it happened.
Tucker pauses for a moment, kind of collecting his thoughts. I understand that Pokemon fight, and that sometimes that can get bad. You've seen it before. You've had to deal with it before. But he pauses again as he tries to think how to put it. Raida just did it on purpose. And I'm not okay with that. He's kind of shaking a bit.
Puppy just scoots closer as they crawl on the floor on their belly closer to Tucker.
Uh-huh.
I still click on the table 10,000 times before moving away from the player.
Try to click empty space on the table where the world map is. Tends to help.
Brooke will just nod and say, "That's good. It's good that you understand how it feels when someone's life is taken. And I'd say it's probably good that you feel bad about it."
Tucker kind of pivots his ears as it's explained that it's kind of a good thing that he understands. He doesn't shake or nod to that, but kind of sighs. I just don't really understand them. Raida, that is. And then this happens, and part of me felt like running as far away as I could, and part of me wanted to attack them right then and there when I heard this. And just like when I attacked Riley. He looks down at the pillows. Clearly down on himself. Overfilling those things. Just to add as things are typed, it's notable that while Tucker does shiver a little bit, it doesn't seem like he's as scared in this situation as he has been in some times in the past.
Brooke will say that's understandable. But you've come to understand what Riley was trying to do back then, don't you?
Tucker gives another little sigh and expresses, even though I don't see eye to eye with him, yeah, I know what he was trying to do. It was kind of dumb, and he wasn't thinking about everyone when he was doing it, but he was trying to do the best he could.
We wanted to protect not just you, but all of us.
He nods.
And you understand what the Cloudfather was doing, right?
Yeah. He was a bad person. Really bad.
What would you have liked to have happen to him?
Tucker kind of just looks towards a wall, past you for a minute. I don't know. He looks at you, looks at Brooke. I understand Pokemon have to fight and sort out things sometimes. And there's bad Pokemon and they have to be dealt with, but I just wish that people could just get arrested or something. And not this. I guess, but he kind of shakes his head. That's not how this works all the time, though. And I can see that. Like, how would that work with wilds? They don't really have a system for that. So... He shakes his head a little bit more. He's clearly very conflicted about the topic. He expresses one more thing, kind of a bit more quietly. I just wish we could solve everything and make people happy, and that's not always possible, and I know that. But even so, ending lives is just... I don't know.
Everyone okay?
Oh yeah, I'm just typing, sorry.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing here.
That's fair. I did read those. Oh, Kar, what should I take away from bracketed messages?
If they're directed at Tucker, those are connection.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
I didn't want to err up. I usually try to use brackets to denote otherworldly entities.
Mm-hmm. So that's being something that Tucker fills, those bracketed messages, at this time?
Those are things that are being projected by connection to Tucker at the moment, yes.
Okay. I guess I can also express while we wait that Tucker does seem to look away as if processing something else from Brooke's point of view. Biting his lip as he thinks about something.
Poppy is going to start nosing at Tucker and trying to get their head under one of Tucker's forepaws.
Which works. Tucker allows them to nuzzle closer.
And they press closer. And closer. They will keep pressing until Tucker, flops over if they are given the chance. No sad. Not allowed the sad. Must undo the sad.
Tucker will also pet the puppy. Though his paw is a little shivery. As a reminder to you all, I don't mind this delay. Because Brooke wants to make a very good scene here, so he's really putting thoughts into the words he's writing. I think that's fine.
Brooke will move his hand from Puppy's head to Tucker's. And he'll say, what Ryder did was excessive, but it did solve a big problem that Sea Spray was having. Fact is, we're not humans anymore, Tuck. And even then, our justice system didn't work all the time. He trails off for a little bit, but then he smiles. Ryder is an acolyte for Eternatus, so they will likely continue following their brand of justice. And I'll be trying to figure out how to deal with that. But whether or not you two agree, we are still a team. I'm not going to tell you to accept their point of view as correct, but also try to understand that they acted in a way that they believed was right. If you try to respect each other's viewpoints, we can find a way to move forward as a team.
Kyrio, could you actually send me what you typed?
Sure.
Easier for me to respond to. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's see. When Brooke's hand touches Tucker's head, that seems to unlock a form of a bunch of the tangled tension that Tucker is feeling, and he immediately does move forward to push into Brooke's belly and just starts sobbing. After a little bit of crying to find his words, he expresses in response to Brooke, I know it solved a problem. I just don't know if I would have solved it that way. But then again, I am just a kid, so maybe I don't know. If I don't know the best way. He nods meekly. Yeah, I know. We're not humans. And Pokemon don't work like humans do and don't do things like humans do. I don't pretend to know that much even about how humans dealt with criminals and bad people. I mean, I wasn't part of all that, I'm pretty sure. Ryder doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They never really did, from the moment I met him. But when they became an acolyte for Eternatus, I didn't think that was a good idea. And I didn't agree with it. But I guess it is your responsibility as leader, isn't it? To figure that out. And figure out them doing that. Because I don't know how to feel. And I don't know how to react. He takes a deep breath. Alright. I don't know if I trust them fully, but I trust you, Brooke. If we're supposed to be a team, and you think we can be a team, then I'll try my best to work with them. I'll try my best to respect them.
We'll just hug Tucker.
Tucker will definitely just smush against the crock, and after his important words are done, he just goes back to crying and whimpering some. Just working it out.
Sorry, Tucker. Brooke will just say, honestly, everything is more complicated than I thought it would be.
I guess that's the nature of us being here. We're not supposed to be here, maybe. Or maybe we are, but it's hard and confusing sometimes. But I'll trust in the team. I'll trust you, Brooke, and I'll trust Ralph, and I'll trust Ryda as well. It might feel hard sometimes, but I think I can do it.
Smile. Maybe you'll figure out how you feel about it later. And when we do, let me know.
He nods against Brooke's chest and looks up at him.
Just one. Can I ask one thing?
What is it?
If Pokemon have to die, please make sure that you've been part of that decision. Because you're a leader.
Brooke nods. Of course.
Tucker nods for a moment, just sort of clearly just kind of absorbing things and sort of reassuring himself.
That's all I ask. I trust you a lot, Brooke. And I'll go with whatever you decide. Not because I have to, but because I want to.
Will nod. Then he'll gently lift Tucker up and put him back on the bed.
Aw.
Then rub his head a little vigorously and say, "All right, no more pouting. Our puppy's going to cry himself to sleep."
As Puppy wiggles and jumps up onto the bed and leans on Tucker.
Yeah. I don't want to make everybody sad.
He goes to rub Puppy's head with a little bit more vigor than before.
Alright. I think I'm feeling a little better now.
Brooke will nod. Then he'll head towards the door. And then stop and say, "If you ever need to talk about anything, you know where to find me."
Tucker gives a slightly more spirited nod and expresses,
Thanks, Brooke.
And Brooke will leave.
and scene. Tucker will simply take a little more time to collect himself and find his balance before he will eventually head out of the room with Puppy. Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you, Kyrio, for the seed.
No problem.
I suppose we can switch back to the HQ after that. Also, yeah, we have used this song before. I don't remember when the last time we've used Melancholy was. But we've heard it before. It's a lovely little piece.
Just as Brooke closes the door, he'll lean up against it for a moment and just sigh and rub his eyes a bit. Say, I don't even know what I'm doing. And then he'll get up and head outside.
Oh. Makes me wonder if Brooke also needs somebody to talk to, maybe.
Nah, he's fine.
Little stressed, though, at the very least.
Stares at you, holding Deadeye at a distance. Like I'm about to chuck him at you.
Yay, trauma bonding.
Sorry, I had to refresh the page because it broke. Apologies if that made a pop-up.
Right then. Was Brooke gonna tell everyone about the thing with the Lorantis?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I guess Brooke will peek his head back into Tucker's room and say, oh yeah, meeting in like 5 minutes.
I don't... Sure.
Heart-to-heart conversation. Also, you're expected to do a presentation in 5. Like...
I'll get back to work.
Tucker does just nod.
Yeah, I'll be fine in a minute.
And it looks like he will be fine in a minute.
Okay.
I'm sorry to ruin the emotions.
No, I like that. That's great. Also,
Seems in care.
I guess Brooke would then head to Ralph's door, make sure he's there.
It's appropriate crockwardness, I would say.
Muffled snoring.
Yeah,
well,
Brooke's
damn,
gonna
Tubby.
have to deal with this in a second.
Damn, Tubby, if you set this up correctly, you could have been sleeping before the game. You could have been sleeping during the game and having it be part of your scene with Ralph.
I'm sorry.
Brooke will knock on Ralph's door. See if he wake him up.
Maybe but still slightly, but still muffled snoring.
Brooke will have to try harder.
I'm going to roll strength against the door.
Yes, the first time somebody will have broken down a door in the base. It's not Riley.
Brick will basically pound on the door, trying to wake him up.
Yeah. And kind of roll over in the tiny amount of space I have. Yeah.
Hey, Ralph!
I can be ready for school in just 5 seconds. Oh, yeah, rub his face. Yeah, 5 minutes to what?
Meeting!
Oh, cool. I got some stuff to tell you too. Okay.
He is the poker.
And then Brooke will also retrieve Ryda and Meyer, who is invited to attend if they would like.
Liar has been teaching Ryda words.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
I think Ralph will be down shortly, or in shortly. Where's the meeting table? The meeting table's on
it's
the
second floor.
second floor. Yeah. So I'd just go right out of my room into there. Yeah, here we go. Huh.
You're out.
Oh my gosh! And I feel like Ralph's gonna realize this too. Oh my gosh! If we had embroidered initials on our doors, then Ryda could straight up take Riley's old room, and the embroidering would still work. Cause Ryda it's R just like Riley, and Liar it's L just like Lizard. It's like Fate.
Oh my gosh.
Lol.
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
Riley, you lose your room. Hey, why did I lose my room? I'm still a major team member. Yeah, but you're not main protagonist anymore. Like, so you can't have it anymore. Like,
I promise I didn't plan it.
You're lending your room.
I promise I didn't plan it.
Besides, I didn't take his room. I took the initials that may or may not have been initialed on the door. Probably not.
Meanwhile, Ralph is going to realize that there's effectively what looks like a beanbag chair now at one portion of the table.
Ah, that still looks like an upgrade to me.
oh, where'd that come
Almost like, while you all were away, somebody bought a furnishing so Ralph can sit comfortably at the meeting table.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
from? That's
sweet.
thoughtful of them.
It was probably Lizard.
Yeah, Lizard is the first one I think of with thoughtfulness too.
But Lizard is in Seaspring.
Oh.
Good point.
Was Hot Dog a Sunday the whole time?
Oh, Ralph Senpai. That would be a big nope.
Hot Dog, over in the Pioneering Club, shudders in disgust.
Yeah, if the words Ralph Senpai came out of his mouth, Ralph would be like, yeah, okay, yeah, so here's how this is gonna work. You didn't say that, I didn't hear anything, and, who are you again?
Let's start completely over.
Yep.
So yeah, Snuggle, he'll situate himself down into the beanbag chair. Ah, no, that's more like it.
Squirtle is looking very proud at the moment,
Aww.
Oh, that's
as everybody gathers at the table. Liar included, I should say.
Mhm.
A remark from Tucker when they see Ryda.
Tucker will pause for a moment to kind of look at Ryda, and the look is, for a moment, it is rather hard. But then he kind of just does a big sigh, and kind of just nods, clearly to himself, as he then takes a seat, clearly kind of letting something out after seeing Ryda. May not be clear to Ryda, though.
Yeah, Ryder just sees that and gives Tucker a nod in response.
Tucker will nod back. We'll give an affirmationable nod back.
They just nod back and forth forever. Once everyone gathers, Brooke will basically mention that he told Pangoro what happened. And basically update the status of the fact that Lilligant is missing, and so is Noibat.
Oh, they've been missing for a minute.
Let's see. Noibat's news to everyone, right?
I think so.
Like,
Yeah.
you representing
Against
this.
not new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tucker will react with some surprise.
Noibat too now?
He doesn't seem happy about that.
That's
Brooke will
right.
nod.
Sorry, Tucker didn't find that out when he was picking a puppy and all that, did he?
Yeah, that's news.
But like a grunt from Ralph. Yeah. On a surface level, it looks like Noibat rushed off to be the hero, and I guess now we gotta bail them both out.
That's possible. Noibat always wanted to prove himself.
Brooke nods and says, I thought so too, but Squirtle told me about 3 days ago it looked like he was following someone out of the main gate.
Raise an eyebrow. He told you?
Squirtle begins signing at Ralph.
Yeah, right.
Also going to correct Brooke in that they think it was 3 days ago.
Roughly 3 days ago, give or take.
Hmm.
Brooke corrects himself.
And Lilligant's been missing for how long now? Longer than 3 days for sure.
At least a week and a half, I would say.
Then maybe it's not related.
Maybe not. Brooke will also mention that, oh, by the way, there's an auditor in town. Make sure you don't antagonize any chat tots you might see.
Tucker's ears
Very
flop
well.
very distinctly at that. He glances at Ralph.
That's one of my two eyes looks towards Tucker and then looks back. Got it, boys.
Wait, what did he say?
So just one of my two eyes moves over slightly and then moves back. You got it, boss.
Is that all Ralph's gonna say on it?
No antagonizing the Shadows or the Shadows.
Don't antagonize the Shadows either.
No antagonizing the Shadow.
Brooke's gonna
The
glance
Shadow
at,
from now on.
Brooke's gonna glance at Ralph and at Tucker, and then back at Ralph, and just sigh.
We may have met the bird. They're very interesting. They're nice, as I make the most I'm lying face ever when I call them nice.
Tucker will speak up.
They wrote down a lot of things when we were telling them things, and then Ralph wanted me to stop telling them things. And I kind of got an idea that was probably the right thing to stop doing.
Says, yeah, probably. Anything we've done kind of will reflect on Pangoro.
Yeah. Then Ralph will finally say, like, God, they were a stick in the mud. Like, I'm surprised they could even walk with the entire frickin' tree shoved up their Alright, let's continue.
Brook's like, yeah, I met them. I understand.
Blyer has a face. They're looking at Ralph.
Tucker side-eyed Squirtle and then expresses to Ralph,
Please, there's children's here.
Yeah, that's why Ralph stopped himself, actually. Like, with the entire heckin' tree, so... And he looks at Squirtle. Anyway, moving on.
Brooke is
Yeah. They didn't seem to be
looking-
very happy about our exploits.
sorry.
Brooke is just looking a little more stressed now. It's like, yeah, makes sense. Anyway, another update on the thief we caught just before we left for Sea Spray. They're still doing fine, but it seems they were looking for a thief of their own. Lorantis has a very limited food source in the valley. So understandably they were trying to get it back, but ended up needing to steal from us to survive.
Now, that explains why they seem kind of feeling bad about it.
That said, they mentioned that their thief resembled a flower.
Tucker ponders that.
So I've asked them to lead us to where they live so we can check out the crime scene and see if we can find any clues.
Will this be before or after we finish with V?
I think V's gonna have to wait.
Now, he might not like that, but we can tell him.
We can tell him after we're done.
Hey,
Why do I
okay.
feel like Ralph is sweating bullets?
Wait, why? Oh, I see.
Oh, yes. Speaking of V's trip, I also have news to report. We will be taking Mawile with us so that we can go straight from V's little project to the Starlit Ruins. I will not have my bae wait until the next full moon.
Brooke will rub his head and he's like, oh man, is that happening soon already? Alright,
Yes.
I guess that works. How long do we have?
Yeah, if we go there straight from V's little, well, whatever it is he talks with so little importance to what V wants to do. If we go straight from there, then we should arrive a little bit early.
I'm assuming we can't spend more than a couple days here then.
Sounds like we have a lot to do.
Brooke will ponder.
Ah, the life of a pioneer. Always busy.
And then Brooke will also seem to think of something and say, that also brings to mind that Lyre will have to leave soon too, won't they?
Ryder looks unhappy.
Yeah, Ralph kind of looks unhappy too. If he's so powerful, why don't he just take him?
Brooke will raise a brow and say, probably will.
Liar looking at Ralph. Their expression has changed to one of not being very amused at the whole talk about the tree, to mild concern
Of how I'm not taking, like, well, what is essentially a Pokemon God seriously.
Tucker is taking it a fair bit more seriously, but he looks very grim about that topic.
I don't like that very much.
Looking sympathetically to Liar.
I still say if we gave it a good walloping, he'd back off.
I'm not sure if we're ready to take on a god right now.
Tucker shakes his head in agreement.
Yeah. I wish we could just tell him off, but I don't think we could just do that, yeah.
Yeah, I hate that you're right about that. he like kind of clenches his fist, like, God, he wants to just punch him in his big, stupid, arrogant nose, but he knows that would just slightly annoy him. And if Eternatus punched me back in my big, stupid nose, I would go through the fucking cave wall.
especially since they can turn into a giant fist.
And then here comes a giant fist!
Unfortunately, Brooke says, there's not a whole lot we can do if people overpower us.
At the very least, I can uphold our deal to get Liar with us for a majority of the time.
I do hope so. It seems like Lair does like being around us, at least. Right, Lair?
Liar nods. Friend. Happy. Liar. Okay. They smile. They look a bit sad, knowing they'll have to go soon, but they were very happy.
Tucker wakes to those statements.
Eternatus obviously likes you, Brooke will say to Liar. Maybe you can ask for a better room, at least.
Look, Ihnen wants you, Eternatus and Ryanin. Liar, okay.
Brooke will just nod. I mostly understand.
Much of that did I get?
Liar basically said that Brooke really doesn't know Eternatus all that well. They're trying to be reassuring, but also they really hadn't been thinking about going back.
Tucker completely forgot.
Yeah, we only got 2 weeks with them, and we spent one of them in Sea Spray.
To be fair, Liar loved it.
Liar had a good time in Sea Spray.
Yeah, went on a date.
Poor Jocelyn.
Aw.
And then cared for her hungover boyfriend.
Well, Ryder better make sure we get Cussy for more than just weekends.
I'm trying my best, okay? I may have to make some dark deals behind the curtains.
Oh no!
Uh-oh. More people are gonna die.
So, just aside, was there more that you all wanted to discuss at the meeting table?
Brooke Brooke wants to take Lyre to the orchard after this, but other than that, I've got nothing else.
Tucker will go ahead, since everybody's gathered. He'll go ahead and pull out the Moonfern Stone.
Well, I got this at the market. Ralph was kind of interested in it. It's kind of unusual.
How strange.
I think Brooke will immediately recognize it as a moonstone, at least.
A weird-looking moonstone, but
Yeah.
kind of a moonstone.
It's like, it looks like a moonstone, but what's that leaf thing on it?
It's mixed with a leaf stone, apparently. It's something weird that can happen with the stones sometimes. Or so I was told.
Well, we don't have any grass types. And I don't know anybody who evolves with the moonstone.
Where would one go about obtaining such a stone?
And
Tucker kind of takes a moment to recollect. I believe it was specifically told to Tucker that there was something to be said about how it was gotten in a dungeon, but I don't remember the exact statement.
The Kecleon said that it's just something that can happen to evolutionary stones in dungeons at times,
yeah,
but it was specifically mined from a dungeon.
Yeah. Tucker will express it is from a dungeon, and it apparently is just something that can happen to stones sometimes from dungeons.
I see. I will keep that in mind.
Brooke will look at Ralph and say, do you think it's useful?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not exactly sure what for yet, but even if not to evolve some Pokemon, the evolutionary stones are a really neat source of energy. Mawile made a cooker out of a fire stone, so who knows what this could be used for.
Not to mention taser.
Yeah.
well, I just thought it was interesting, so I wanted to share. You guys can feel free to use it if you have an idea for it.
Lyre gives it an experimental poke. Sadly, nothing happens.
Evolve into something that can defeat everyone else.
You wish.
You just evolved into Xerneas.
I was gonna make that joke. You beat me to it.
Tucker will put it back away once everybody's done talking about it. Content to have a little episode of show and tell here.
Oh, I found a cool rock.
Found a
Good
cool
beating.
rock.
Did Ryder want to show off what they made?
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to show off their experimenting. Just while I was with Flyer, I spent some time experimenting. I wish to research more into alchemy. And they present the vials of very toxic looking sludge.
Purple chunky sludge.
Tucker will instinctively make a step towards it before reviling immediately and regretting that decision.
Yeah.
Brooke will just kind of skeptically ask, what is it for?
As I said, this was mere experimentation. Though the
Okay.
results are very toxic.
How exactly do you know that they're toxic?
I tested it.
On who?
Myself.
Like a true scientist.
Brooke looks at Lyre with a questioning look.
Lyre looks mildly exasperated and then uses aromatherapy just to illustrate how they saved Ryda from being very, very poisoned.
Tucker holding his nose as he talks.
I think I could have told you that without you having to test it. That smell is obvious. Yeah.
It's still worthwhile to know the full effects.
Brooke will say, as long as Liar isn't around, please don't make contact or ingest anything you make, unless you know what it does.
Very well.
It could have a use, though. It's definitely potent.
World's deadliest cupcakes.
And don't feed it to anyone else either, just so we're clear. Unless you want to poison them, I guess.
That second comment, then Ryda just nods.
Brooke will need to learn not to be glib with Ryda.
Why am I imagining everybody immediately thinking about poisoning the chat hut?
Oh no. That is not on Tucker's mind. That is not on his mind.
Each team member going up to the chat hut individually. We baked you some cupcakes. Oh, I have this nice purple muffin. Oh, I have this plum pie. And all the suspiciously purple treats.
And then a Grimer just kind of wanders by, and is like, "Oh, free cupcakes!" And eats one. Oh, delicious! And just like,
Here,
This is the best cupcake I've ever had.
it's a blueberry cheesecake.
Brooke's gonna say, alright, that's the meeting over then. I'm gonna head to the orchard with Lyre, and when I come back, we're gonna talk to Laurentis and see where that leads.
Alrighty.
Very well.
Guess I should probably find V and see if he's still inconvenienced.
he says, with a bit of thought to the word.
Brooke will say, oh, right, whatever happened to them?
Still Kafrakius, as far as I know.
God?
Somebody should probably help him. Maybe.
I'll leave that to your discretion, Tucker.
Tucker nods.
In any case, Lyre will follow Brooke to the orchard.
I think along the way, Brooke is just going to explain Savantown's purpose.
Lyre seems to understand. It's a concept that makes sense. Pokemon need food, and if Savantown is here to make food and it's not making food, then it needs help.
So Brooke will take them to the orchard and basically just ask, do you think you can do anything to help?
Lyre looks around. They trot circles in a couple of places before coming back to Brooke. Yes. Lyre, help.
Brooke will kind of smile and laugh with some relief. Really? I wasn't sure. You don't mind, right?
Lyre shakes their head, the strands on their horns gleaming in the sunlight. I believe so. Want to help. You help me. Is only right.
Brooke kind of rubs his head back fully. Well, I didn't do anything. I don't think anyone else would.
Lyre moves forward, and they just sort of lean on Brooke and lay their head on his shoulder.
Aw.
Well, miss.
Nods. I'll miss you too. But we'll see each other next year.
Pulling back, they give a wry smile and nod. As I'm looking for which song is Lyre's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, which one was that? Let me see. Maybe I can help you figure it out.
I think it's in the second one.
Before Lyre does anything, I think I should probably introduce them to Sim Sage.
Sure, sure.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh, I found it. It's Melody of Balm. Number 35 in Advanced 2. But we'll hold that off for a second.
Okay.
Oh, right. Simisage is the Elvis-looking one. You know what? I'm not going to do the voice today. But Simisage is going to greet Brooke when they come over. And they ask who Lyre is.
Brooke's gonna ponder for a moment on how to best explain that. Their friend. And then that's it.
Friend.
They said they can help with the garden.
Oh, well, you should have led with that. Sure, any help is appreciated. They could use it now, especially. And then they make a face. Clearly, they have been burdened by Chetot's presence, much like Pangoro.
Brooke will nod at Lyre.
Lyre will nod in return. And then, in a similar way to something you saw before, they start to sing. They slowly move down the central lane. And in their wake, greenery, even out of the driest and most cracked earth. Not all of it lasts, but some of it takes root. Simisage looks on in wonder as Lyre's power seems to make the orchard grow stronger, bolstering the foliage that's there. One of the trees at the far end of the central lane seems to grow bigger. It's subtle, but you can hear the creaking as the wood expands, winding closer to the sky.
I think Brooke is just going to walk with fascination.
The thread around Lyre's horn seems to glow brighter. Brighter than you've ever seen it before. Almost as if it's drinking in the sunlight and pouring it back out. And for a few moments, it almost seems as though they're cloaked in threads of light, A shifting rainbow of hues, not unlike a certain legendary. But before the song can complete, they have to stop. They cough and sputter and stumble and have to lay themselves down, not terribly far from the tree they managed to help grow. They look incredibly tired and drained, almost as if they hadn't slept or eaten for several days.
Brooke will be at their side almost immediately. Say, hey, are you okay?
They nod. They attempt to speak, but it's no more than a whisper. Based on their expression, they are trying to reassure you.
Brooke just rubs his head and nods. Says, thank you. And he'll ask Simisage if he could get some water.
Simisage nods and rushes off to the oasis.
Try not to push yourself. You don't have to fix everything.
Liar, fix this. They have another coughing fit. Their color is back to being faded. It reminds you of the way they looked back in the Dragon's Path. Thankfully enough, Simisage is not long in bringing back a bucket of water, which Lyre will gratefully drink from.
Brooke will gratefully lay a hand on Lyre's back and just kind of look around at the orchard.
It's greener than you've ever seen it. And already it looks like the majority of the berry bushes are starting to fruit again. And all the trees that aren't already fruiting or blossoming have been made to blossom. Would you mind? Please. Make me a logic roll.
Just pure logic?
Yep.
Extreme.
Logical extremes.
Indeed. There aren't many Pokemon that are capable of doing this. Not single-handedly and in such a short span of time. Doing this must have taken a lot out of Lyre.
This is a lot more than we even expected. But I'm grateful. I'm glad that you were able to help us in a way. What am I trying to say here? Brooke's basically trying to say that he's happy that he could let Liar repay us, I guess.
Liar smiles. Their voice is still incredibly hoarse. And they are still speaking their language. But they seem to return the appreciation. If nothing else, they're clearly grateful for what Team Cheer has done for them. This brief reprieve probably means everything to them. So, if they can do good while they are free, if they can return the happiness they've received, then maybe it will make the rest of the year all that more bearable.
And I regret not inviting anyone else to watch.
Oh no, no video cameras or phones or anything. You couldn't even record it.
No.
Well, that said, Liar is now clearly not in a state to go on the little trip that you're about to have.
Mm-hmm. I think Brooke will escort Liar back home.
They're unsteady at first, and they'll brace on Brooke, but they're grateful for the escort. Eternatus, I've come to bargain.
I think Brooke will also explain to Simsage that Liar is leaving soon, but might come back in a year.
Simisage is a simple monkey, or should I say monkey? But whatever just happened, they're glad. They hope your friend is okay, and looks forward to seeing them again when they can visit. They're just going to accept this. You don't look a gift ponyta in the mouth.
Yes. And I'll just let Simisage explain what happened to Pangolin. Because we've got a mission to go on.
Boy, that is both a great idea and a poor idea, and I love it.
That's the definition of a Brooke idea.
Yep. Alright, give me just a minute, guys.
Sure.
And then we can proceed.
I will say in the interim, Ryder would have approached Tucker, like after the
Okay. Tucker
They
would
just
be willing.
Well, Ryder would just politely walk up to Tucker and express, "Pardon me, Tucker, but I must apologize. After speaking with Brooke, it was made clear that my approach with you was less than desirable. My intention was only to explain and make clear some things I've been keeping from you. I will try to do better in the future."
Tucker sort of squints and clearly sort of arranges his feelings for a second. Before laying out a little sigh.
I have some problems with things you do. But Brooke is watching out for the whole team, and you're part of the team, and I'm part of the team. So I'm gonna try my best to get along. And yeah, you could have used a better approach. But at least you understand that. We do not see eye to eye. I'm just gonna say that right now. But If you're trying to do the best you can for the team, then I can get on board with that.
I do not disagree with your assessment. We do think very differently. And my intent is always for the betterment of our party.
Well, even though our methods might be different, that's my goal too. The betterment of our party and hopefully other Pokemon too.
Does this mean that you will accept what I must do if the time comes?
Tucker closes his eyes for a moment, then opens them and responds,
Just as long as you take it through Brook first.
I can agree to that.
Tucker gives a very formal but affirmative nod.
As long as Brook approves it, then I'll go along with it.
Of course. Whatever Brooke deems, I shall follow.
Good. I more or less work the same way. He's got a good sense of judgment.
Indeed. That is all I wish to say.
Tucker nods again and says,
Thanks for trying to figure things out with me. I appreciate the effort, even if the approach wasn't quite right.
and he will give a small smile, which is clearly genuine, hence why it's not huge at this time. But he wants to get along. And
I'm still not entirely clear of emotions, so understanding you is a bit difficult for me.
Well, you got plenty of time to be around me to figure it out.
He just kind of chuckles a little bit.
That is true.
Oh?
Yes? Hello.
The call dropped me for a second. I was just too heavy. It couldn't hold me anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But yeah, unless there's more to be said, Tucker will probably break off for that interaction. And not exactly on amicable terms. He's still a little tense with Rhino, but he's making an effort.
Yeah, Rita doesn't have anything else to say, so they'll politely walk away and sort of slink away to be in private.
Tucker has a bit of a job to do. A small job. So he'll probably go off to that.
Relationship status strained coworkers.
That would be accurate for now.
And what is the job that Tucker has to do?
Retrieve V and inform him of...
A small delay.
You are going to have to pry V from Kofagrigus, but it is possible. V is not going to be happy about a small delay, but so long as they don't have to go with you on this little adventure, they're fine.
Tucker will simply express to V.
Yeah, you can hang out at the base. There's plenty of space for you. Well, we're still a Pokemon team, and this is a little bit more important than looking for your stuff. So, takes priority.
Yeah, you do whatever you pioneers do. I'll be here, wasting away in your cool, nice headquarters.
As they head their way to the headquarters feigning drama.
Tucker will find it a little bit amusing, knowing how V is a bit of a drama queen sometimes.
Enjoy your time there.
He'll say as he leaves. I swear if I find them in my hot tub. Also true, it was indeed a Pangoro mission, so priority is obvious.
Oh, Brooke. Don't let them know that you have a hot tub.
I just personally feel like V is just going to have a run of the place and just kind of poke everywhere. I feel like that's what V's going to do. I don't know. So I feel like the hot tub will be found.
If we were really savvy, we'd like leave notes for him.
Yeah, fair. Fee's going to stay during this one mission we got to do. And then we'll pick up V after that.
Brooke's office, no hot tub. I mean, if Brooke tells Squirtle that V should not know about the hot tub, Squirtle would definitely make a sign like that with crayon. It's fine.
Pepper just locked his office. Is there a single key on any part of our structure? I don't know if this is a Pokemon thing to do. Well, I don't know. There's probably some locked doors.
I mean, there's probably latch locks, and
yeah.
Well, there are keys. Rise has a door with a key.
That's true. I'm just gonna say, like, wait, Rise does have a locked door actually. So I was like thinking about that as I said that.
And yes, you could. There are locks on things, you know, like that box that Crocodile is going to take to Klefki tomorrow.
Tucker probably well, I didn't think of saying it at the time, but Tucker probably would say the dangerous words of make yourself at home.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Oh, no.
Hot Dog is going to have words for you. Those words include, do not let V in this place ever again. What? It wasn't that demanding. Their name is Hot Dog. They cook. What did they expect me to ask them to do?
Oh no.
I mean, I didn't treat them like a servant. Their servants would be nice. One day. Shenaniganry aside.
They do have some power indeed in this situation.
They do. Squirtle would agree with Hot Dog just because it's funny. But in any case, when the team is ready and prepared, because I have to move us along eventually or we'll never move along.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little late, but this works to the advantage of allowing a quote-unquote criminal out of their holding room to escort you all out of town. Waiting for Team Cheer by the front gate is the Lurantis. Tucker will give Puppy lots of pets and attention before selling them back at the HQ in time to be good. Oh,
Just concluding that little point before heading off to the creek. Does Ralph have any last things he's doing before? leading
No,
up?
he's gonna just he's just gonna follow along.
okay. Could possibly also mention to their godparent Rise that we're leaving just in case we take the bit. Oh no, Rise will know that you all are leaving. Pangoro is going to tell them.
Right, it's pretty good. Stay in the loop.
Pangoro's trying to be a good leader.
Prudent is good.
Indeed. But Laurentis, when they see all of you and assume you are prepared, they nod and point out into the big plains. Oh yes, Squirrel should be away.
There we go.
It's this way. We should hurry. If we lose the light, we might not be able to find the entrance.
Should I switch music?
To the Baked Plains, yes.
Okay.
That we haven't had in forever.
It's not a generally important direction to go, but sometimes it is. That should be Dungeons 1. Pretty sure.
Yep. Dungeons 1, number 2.
One of the earliest
It's only
songs.
because things are alphabetized.
There we go.
Oh, the
Okay,
reason the Vespid honey cards are blank is because either they don't have an effect, because I haven't thought of one, or they're just like honey that tastes different because it is made from that specific hive.
Last time I asked it was actually, I think, last session, and you basically told me it's just food.
Yeah.
So it's food.
You could probably sell some to V and they'd add it to their cafe.
Be a pretty reasonable item for it.
Make V pay through their nose for everything. In any case, for a little bit, it seems as though the Laurentis is a bit disoriented. Like they haven't really been out for a little bit and seen the scenery. But eventually they seem to start recognizing a few things. And I'm sorry, Hydra, remind me once again, when did Rita start watching the team? It was after the Claydol Cairn, right?
Whenever they fought Tiber.
Okay,
After
that's
that.
well after, so you
Okay.
wouldn't have memory of this place. So, Tucker, Ralph, and Brooke, all of you get to make a smart survival logic roll.
Okay.
Holy crap, I'm actually making you roll for things.
Gameplay.
And I'll say it.
Okay. Okay with that roll. 50% success is fine by me. But alas, what about Oh,
I mean, Brooke's result does not surprise me.
better. I thought so.
After all, the only reason you were there was to help Lilligant, and that probably glossed over in your brain compared to everything else at the time.
Alright.
But Tucker and Ralph, you two remember going this way a while ago. A long while ago. This is the way to the Sunlit Crevice. This is where you went with Lilligant all those months ago. Tucker remembers because you had to be put in a harness.
Oh, I don't remember that. What was that part?
You had to be lowered down via rope.
Oh, right. Also, the Sunlit Cavern, wasn't it also an area with a little bit of greenery? A little bit more than the continent usually has.
Indeed.
Yeah. That also makes it notable and rememberable.
Didn't we have, not lizard, but the, Salandit before?
Chair.
Yeah, Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, we had Chair as a prisoner at the moment.
Literally walked outside of Savan Town, encountered more Salandits, and caught another one. Caught one on your way in, caught one on your way out, caught one at the Claydol Cairn.
Riley just wanted to be a Pokemon trader continuously during that early segment. Specifically for Salandits.
Man, he had a... Let's see. So, yeah, his party is 3 Salandits, a Snom, and a Lotad.
Yep, I guess so.
Excuse you, 2 Salandits, a Salazzle,
Yeah,
a
definitely.
Snom, and a Lotad.
Not the most well-balanced team, but it's a good one.
Congratulations, you're being adopted. Do not resist.
Tucker will probably remark about remembering where they're kind of headed towards. And probably reminding Brooke of that whole Lilligant mission. He doesn't go into extensive detail for Rita. Kind of doesn't probably remember that Rita wasn't there. But Rita gets the gist, I'm sure.
I vaguely remember being here before, Brooke says. I don't suppose any bother to draw a map, though.
Nope.
That's okay. It's okay. We're getting close. I remember the way down. Lurantis reassures you all. It's starting to get dark by the time you reach the slow, ramping descent into Sunlit Crevice. But they persist, even so. But they do stop before entering. Do any of you have a light?
Let's see here. Fire up my zapper. Bzzz.
Which, by the way, Dungeons 2, number 43,
Oh, okay.
is the song for this one.
Could Tucker make a logic roll to suggest that somebody could maybe make a torch with his fire fang?
Ralph has something that glows, Brooke will say, as
That's-
Ralph is already revving up his zapper.
I wonder if that
Um,
actually breeds light, though, or enough light.
Yes, Ryda can roll for Lucky Chant. That is
Well,
smart.
doesn't Brooke have the lantern?
Brooke has the lantern.
Oh, I forgot about that entirely.
Ah.
Also, what song was it? 245?
No, 43.
243. Okay.
Just this jolly little tune for this beginner dungeon.
Ha, yes. This is more or less like a classical piece.
Enjoy your lucky chant.
Very nice.
Brooke remembers suddenly. You pull out your lantern. Oh, and bravado. How excellent. I don't know if you'll need it, but we can make a note that you'll have a bravado stored if it's not used. Always buff before me. Good choice. So for the moment, we're gonna just... Because I get the feeling you might leave the lantern on the floor if a fight breaks out.
I see. Did you layer that over? You layered over. Like, okay, I see.
Yeah. So we
Alright.
don't have to worry too much about it.
That makes sense.
The Lurantis recoils a bit at the sight of the kind of gruesome eye lamp, but, I mean, it works. Multiple eyes just look at all of you.
It's also technically kind of safer to use in a dungeon. Give it its effect.
I know it's creepy, but it'll help once we get to the city, Burke says. If you say so. It's just going to get darker as we go down. Luckily, as Lurantis starts to lead you down, it seems like most of the Pokemon in this area are either asleep or have no desire to tussle with a team of powerful pioneers. In fact, as you clamber down stone and rock and platform, memories start to come flooding back to those of you who have already been here. It's all very familiar. The Lurantis even pauses at the spot where Tucker originally needed to be lowered via rope. They consider it, briefly, but then turn around and decide to take another path. As you travel, Brooke will ask, "So how long have you lived here, Lurantis? It must be pretty difficult." Here? Oh, I live deeper. It's more dangerous there, but also it can be safer. It wasn't always connected to this place. I don't think. They ponder as they briefly do a few little hops down a couple of rock steps. waiting for the team to follow them down.
Carefully follow.
Carefully follow, you say?
Yeah. Trying not to, like, crush the steps as I go down.
Luckily, Ralph is not so heavy as he's going to demolish the stone steps. It's just natural stone platforms.
Yeah. I guess he's just feeling like somewhere in his mind he's thinking maybe the environment's as fragile as the mods here.
Oh.
Like, he has this weird knowing that, like, I guess the feeling of, like, oh man, that it feels like so long, like we were practically children pioneers when we were last year, and now we're grown-up pioneers.
I mean, totally fair. And in extra fairness, the Lurantis does look pretty fragile. And also, last time you were here, you were much smaller.
That's true. Well, most of you. Well, Tucker's got fatter.
Makes sense. The cairn can shift the landscape when it moves around, Brooke says, mostly to himself. The Lurantis will tilt their head, stepping aside so that Ralph can make his way down to the lower level that they've achieved. Oh well. I kinda meant this continent. Your food source is unlikely to thrive around here, so I just assumed you traveled from somewhere else. Oh. No, there are more of us. Just not here. They motion towards a deeper, darker part of the cavern, waiting for Brooke to shine a light in that direction. When they do, it reveals what looks to be relatively recently upturned earth and a broken stone wall.
So it looks like it was very recent.
Mm-hmm. Well, not recent as in days, but recent as in weeks.
My first instinct was maybe I could look through the lens if it was recent enough.
Oh, no. Unfortunately, It is beyond the lens's capacity. I am sorry. This is not something that, well, if it was made recently, it was made before you guys went back to Sea Spray. So it would have been beyond the lens's limit. The wall is like a cliff face. It's still part of the crevasse. The opening, however, is fairly large. And in fact, some of the greenery, at least from what you can see in the lamplight, from the ravine has started to invade in this new cavern. Brooke will step inside, holding the lantern aloft. Stick close. If it gets too dark to see, you sure you've got a hand on someone?
Right.
Rita will chime in. I have a rope that we could tie to one another.
Oh, you had a rope. Well, that would have saved us a little time. We could have gone down that steep cliff before.
This was not expressed beforehand.
This does give Tucker a vague little flashback when that's mentioned.
With the rope coming in handy.
The cliff face and scaling it.
Oh, Laurentis's arms were bound.
They were freed once we left town, right?
Well, actually, that depends. Did you free them?
Actually, I guess that would be up to later.
Because, like, they still got the rope around the thin part of their limbs, just sort of, forelimbs, just sort of binding them. Because, yes, I do remember that Pangoro said they would be bound just for appearance's sake.
Indeed. And then after town, it was really up to us, probably. Once it was out of Chatat's eyesight, basically.
I am very amused that people don't remember this place.
I remember the Sunflora boss, who was not a boss. We just kicked his butt.
He was my first boss. Okay. In which case they are free at the moment. But it's not like it was enough rope to go down the cliff face. That said, the inside of this new cavern, something about it feels different. The air moves differently down here. And yes, there were rock roughs here too. They're asleep.
I think Tucker had a scene about that, if I recall.
The Laurentis will move closer behind Brooke, peering down the passage.
It's unchanged. That's good.
Do walls normally change on you?
They have. At least in the past few months, they have. The earth rumbles. When this last changed, there was a strange black stone monolith sticking out of one of the walls deeper in.
Can Tucker do a thing?
What is the thing?
Given that they are in a dark place and it's a little bit dangerous and the walls could technically change, Tucker's going to use his sniffer suitor just to keep a smell on things, since he can do that in case anything is notable about the environment beyond what we can see. So in other words, technically an older sleuth roll probably.
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry, I was looking for music. What is Tucker doing again?
Oh, since the environment's very dark and now there's been mentioned how the environment can technically shift, Tucker's going to use his snout, since he's got the best snout here, to basically sniff out the area and keep an eye out for anything unusual scent-wise that might be happening in these cave caverns.
Okay.
And older sleuth roll, if that's okay for that.
Yes, that is fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been trying to find good music for this section.
What I presume to be a new dungeon?
It is. We're gonna use
Two.
the Curse of Two.
3 because of Lucky Chip.
Oh! Lucky Charm
you're
gives me
right.
3. Very good.
W-
Thank you.
Wait, I forget. Does Lucky Chant negate all ones?
That's 2.
Oh, then it's still 2, because Tucker got 4 ones.
Yeah, unfortunately, I really wonned it up there.
Anyway, Dungeons 3, and we're gonna use number 26.
Okay, let's see.
Because I haven't found anything much better for it.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what we're going for, so I'm going to assume you're right, that that's a good pick. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Tucker, the most that you smell is, well, plants. There's some sort of floral scent you don't recognize. But also the air feels like it doesn't move much down here. Which kind of affects the whole scent thing just a little.
Yeah.
It smells
Stale.
mildly stale.
Ah, I see what you're doing. Also, just a side remark: anytime you're getting a dungeon together, if you're not sure what music you do, you could always ask me in advance of a game if a dungeon's coming.
I know.
To help you find something.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were going to.
Oh, sure, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just mentioning.
Our track record, that's fair.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised at how many good scenes and yet how efficient we've been with them today at the same time. So I agree with you.
Yes. Where's... Where's the thing I'm doing?
This is a
On the world map?
This is a good
Look at this.
track.
There you go. You like it? It's actually from Pokemon. It's one of the few Pokemon remixes, actually.
Yes. Allow me, O players mine, to officially greet you with the Sun Petal Deep.
Ooh. Sun Petal Deep.
And I know we're very close to ending, but I will still pull out an appropriate document just in case. Because it has info. As you move through the initial passage, your glow gazer lamp will fall upon what appears to be some dark foliage rooted in the ground. There's no way for sunlight to reach these particular set of caverns, at least not here. So it's a little odd for it to be there. Rook gets a foreboding feeling that he might have to deal with grass types down here. Me confirming your worst fears. I mean, Laurentis is a grass type. Laurentis cautiously moves forward, and they gesture just where the plant is. Careful. There's a short drop here. It seems, in these conditions, they're still able to see. I mean, he's got a fighting move, he's got a couple of ice moves. He could totally eat a salad. Laurentis easily hops down the short drop. It's approximately the same height that they are, so it's not terribly far. Though it might be amusing to see them peeking up over the edge, waiting for you all.
Right, I will gently hop down.
Try to remember if Tucker has low light vision without his black eyes. I can't remember if he's got a little bit of help with that, or if he is pretty blind as a bat without that lantern. No offense, no bet.
No, you do have an amount of like low light to night vision, kind of.
Yeah, it's not like extreme, but I thought I could. It's been a while since he's had normal eyes, so I was trying to remember if he had that as normal eyes. I think he did. Yeah. Okay. Tucker will look over the ledge and probably be able to see the general idea of the bottom, and hop down.
Brooke sets the lamp on the edge and hops down, making sure it's visible to everyone behind him.
Yeah. Carefully follow once I'm sure the way is clear.
Once down the ledge, the Laurentis looks around. A fork in the path. The way these caves look, it's almost like they were, at one point, higher up. Like they could have been part of the crevice. It's possible with the earth churning from the cairn, they were. It's been a while. I think it's this way. And they gesture to the path ahead, which would be the one on the right on the map. Oh no! Kyrio got booted. Oh, their power went out.
Oh, what? How'd you know that immediately? Did they say it like instantly? Wow.
They just messaged.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Oh dear.
I like how I was the one worried about that today, but it didn't happen. Oh, that means it had to happen to somebody else, I guess. Sorry, Kyrio, I passed the curse.
Oh dear.
Did prompt me to save the table, though, so there. Well...
Well, it's almost 10:30. We could stop.
Gotta guess they have a phone.
I do
given
want to
they...
keep going, but
I mean, if we want to try and keep going, we can try and keep going a bit longer.
There's a lot of people having internet issues today, and it feels like today's a little cursed, actually. Not a bad day, mind you, just a little cursed.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to Kyrio, really. Since he's able to communicate. Ow.
Session
Also-
has been a lot of us putting things on Kyrio to decide.
I suppose so. Well, I'm more like wondering what Internet's going to do. Or what Power's going to do, I mean.
I don't know when it'll come back, so don't wait on me.
In that case, I suppose we should call it there and
Yeah.
cliffhanger of what's behind exit number 1.
Yeah, it seems like it's not a weather-related thing or such. If it is indeed construction, like he's saying there's construction outside. If construction hit a line, that's not going to be fixed for a while. So, yeah. It is a good stopping point, though. I don't think that's a problem. Start of a dungeon. I get the feeling that Car wanted to have some efficiency with this episode. I think we're pretty efficient, though, all said. And we resolved a major character conflict and still did a bunch of other things in a single episode. I'd say that's pretty good.
I did hope I could have gotten more to the dungeon, but at this point I'm used to it.
Well, technically, we were at the dungeon.
But more dungeon!
Dungeon. 1 million years dungeon.
Hopefully not 1 million years dungeon, but dungeon.
Dungeon. Do it or 10,000 years dungeon.
Well, I am hoping that you guys are going to like this one, if only for atmospheric reasons.
I think you've already got a pretty good environmental idea. I mean, we'll have to see where you take it, but I like the idea of this place being kind of plant-based, but also not just like an outside environment either. I like the mix.
The harvest was nice, and it was kind of underground, air quotes, but also just sort of open, with like sunlight able to stream through. This is quite different.
Yeah. And yeah, Gar, it's clear you're excited about the dungeon, which is great. I'm eager to see what you have in store for it.
I have been waiting for the conclusion of this quest line. I have had this quest ready since day 1.
Wow. That's quite a few days ago.
Feel that.
Well then, anything left to conclude us with, DM?
Yes, actually. Because assuming you all follow Laurentis,
I think that would be implied.
oh, that's a useful tile. You come across another longer passage. But this time, it seems there's another path before you. Only it's blocked by what appears to be some sort of large piece of rock. But it's overgrown with what appear to be vines. A bush at the base of it, of some sort, appears to bear softly glowing flowers. And that's where we'll end.
Okay.
I want one.
Curious flowers, then.
Everybody get your 2 XP for the session.
I'll say we could limit Kyrio's issue, but I'm just happy that we got through all these big scenes with him before it happened. I'll give him XP. There we go. Everybody else add their XP okay?
Yep.
Got mine.
All the way down at 2.
Ralph started from
back.
scratch. Started from
Yeah.
scratch.
Yeah, I bought the most expensive move on my card, actually, so...
Yeah, fair, honestly. I could do that twice. Well, not quite. Close, though. What is the most expensive? The most expensive move for Puchina is Sucker Punch. No, I'm sorry, Crunch. What am I saying? Sucker Punch is second most expensive, though. Is Crunch
I can actually
really
learn
that worth that?
Crunch.
Is Crunch actually worth that price?
Crunch is lethal, so there's that.
Well, that's
I wanna
true,
say
yeah.
Brooke has it.
He does.
Strength plus 3. Oh, and it lowers defense of the target, so that's pretty
Yeah,
powerful.
there's one chance to lower the defense of the target.
Which actually is a pretty good assist aspect of it.
Yes, it loses flinch, but that's sort of the trade-off. Crunch is
It
an
replaces,
offensive
yeah,
version.
it replaces flinch with, yeah, the ability to reduce defense, and it also rolls 1 more damage.
Oh, right. Your getaway booster has power again, by the way.
Yay! Let's see.
I forgot to mention that.
I will take the red thing off for now. Boop. Excellent.
I hope everybody enjoyed this session. I apologize that there was not more.
You say that, but I feel like it was a reasonable length all the same. Yeah, maybe a little shorter than the typical average, but not by much, honestly. Nah,
By
it's
about an hour. But yeah.
Well, okay. Maybe the density of things just feels different to me.
It's okay. Pet.
Well,
Hopefully next time you all will get to explore more of the deep.
obviously. Next episode will be focused on, what was it called again?
Sun Petal Deep.
Sun Petal Deep. Definitely, that's going to be the focus of the next session. But, I'm looking at my character sheet because I'm thinking, should spend, but I feel like I kind of feel a little bit out of it still tonight. I was completely drained yesterday, so today I feel better, but I definitely feel like I've been running out of steam. Maybe that's also why I feel like the episode isn't that short, because I feel like the amount of fatigue I usually feel at the end of episodes, so it feels like normal. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining me yet again. Obviously, we had a little trouble with a few things today, as far as having people on the table, but hey, you know what? We still had a great episode. I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, we will come back to this in 2 weeks for session 128, Sun Petal Deep. I hope you all hope to see you all then. Take it easy until then.
Bye.